I'm Kurt Shimmers. Every day, fortunes are gained and lost in the financial markets. News, trends, and even geopolitical events shape your financial landscape. Join me and my expert guests right now on Traders Nation. Welcome. You are tuned into Traders Nation. Thanks for making us a part of your day, Don. I got a jam-packed show today. Brad Williams, he's back with us again, president of Brad Williams Financial Services. We're going to be talking about consumer spending. It's increased the most in 9.5 years. Okay, so we're going to find out what's going on there. Plus, Don and I remain focused on payment processors. You're going to want to know about that. And towers. There's a reason why these are on our list. You're not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned. So we got guests. We got stocks, ton of commentary, and a whole lot more. Stay tuned right here with Traders Nation. We'll be right back.
Traders Nation. If you promise not to tune out, we promise not to talk about you while you're gone. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Get Pro Online DVD Trader today. Whether you're an experienced trader or just beginning, you'll improve your skills dramatically. Click on the Knowledge Center button to order your copy today. Traders Nation. Delivering what you want when you want it. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Live.
It's on the whole time.
Bringing traders coverage of the markets, solid trading strategies, potential hot stock movers, world-class guests, informative callers, and unsurpassed market chatter for traders to take all the way to the bank.
You guys got some great stuff coming out. I mean, the great station.
Stay on top.
This is always changing. It's always fresh. Something new.
Stay tuned in. Traders Nation.
There's always something to look forward to.
Clearly, you can hear the difference. Traders Nation. It's the Traders Nation Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Forbes, and you're watching Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Around the world, right here, locally, nationally, Traders Nation.
Right.
Check it all out. Plus, you can get that interview with Steve Forbes over at TradersNation.com or our YouTube channel. Right, Don? Plus,
That's right.
a ton of other interviews with I don't know how many guests that we've had over 19 years, thousands of them. You can
right.
get all that good stuff over there. Some of it's still relevant. Some of it's just good, downright good entertainment, Don.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Don, what's going on out there? Market's down. Payment processors turning over a little bit here today. We always cover them going up, but sometimes you got to cover them going down too.
Oh.
Got to cover that.
Today's one of those days, and we can start with Square, SQ.
Yeah, let's do that. Currently trading at $68. Right, a little north of that, right? Gap down today. Wow, look at the gap. Bring the chart. Let's bring the charts up for viewers there and listeners. You can check it out later. Certainly, look at the gap down. Look at the gap down on that, man. Gap down here today, Don. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Well, with Square, they didn't make the numbers, and the boys on the street didn't like it.
Yeah.
So they trim it back. Look, it's
punishment.
Square is a company that is a little bit further behind some of the others in the trade. But long term, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Stock's trading in here at around $66.50 right now.
Okay.
Market's down. It all started last night after the market. Stock came down about 5% after the market, and they kept right on selling it pre-market this morning.
Yeah.
And it's been down $7 here for a while, so they might take it down a little bit more today. But overall, it's a solid business that they're in, and there's no doubt that these payer companies or payment companies, whatever you want to call them, they will fare well in the long term. But short term, this is what happens.
Yeah,
you wake
totally.
up, and here it is.
All right, so let's show them that chart again. That's what street punishment looks like, okay? So you're absolutely right, Don. So here's the thing. So we're down, gap down today. Didn't like the numbers. Street didn't like the numbers. Some pretty big sellers in there, probably, right? But so what? So what? So the play on this is to see when this thing settles out, because at some point it becomes another opportunity to the upside, and that's when you want to find it. Find it for that bottoming out, and then wait a day, 2 days. I like 2 days, 2 green days up for that pivot or reversal to the upside. And then potentially you can think about what you're going to do at that point if you want to get back in or get into it at that point. But it's an opportunity, not today. If you're long on anything, it's not today for sure. but wait for it to settle out. See what happens, right, Don?
Well, yeah, they're questioning the payment volume growth, but that doesn't bother me too much. But typically what can happen with some of these tech stocks is that, look, the boys are in there, and when they see a number they don't like, they hit the sell button first and they worry later.
Right.
And this is a classical example of trimming the stock back substantially, down $7 or just about 10% on the day.
Yeah.
But long term, this is it. And if you have any spare pennies laying around, may not be a bad day to step up to the plate. Takes a little bit of courage when these stocks are getting killed, but that's where the big money gets made.
Yeah.
When nobody's looking, that's when the boys will come in and scoop it back up.
Don, it's interesting. Today our topic with Brad Williams is consumer confidence and consumer spending, right? And they're questioning the growth numbers on payment processors is interesting. I wonder what the analysts or whoever this is that's thinking of this, Don, where they're getting their insight from, because this is totally a growth area. It's not going to go away. The only thing that can really happen in this growth area is a dilution of processors to move the money around. It's going to be a growth area, but will there be a dilution of the number of processors out there? Then we're talking market share. We're not talking growth in way of users. We're talking market share at that point. And so market, the growth in this area is going to continue to go. All right, PayPal, PYPL, let's take a look at that one here, Don, today. Papa Yankee, Papa Lima, currently trading at $110.51 here today. 1.4 million shares exchanging hands, Don. This rolled over yesterday, but it hit that a new 52-week high, Don, at 113.69. Profit taking going on here, Don?
Yeah. Well, another example, stock has had a heck of a run-up here in 2019. Hit the 52-week high recently, just about, where were we? 113, almost to 114, about 114. Yeah. So, profit-taking, and once again, on a day like today, when the market's down a couple $100, a lot of the big boys just hit the sell button, and the market makers move out of the way, and all of a sudden you have a stock down that's, it's down $1.60 right now, which is really not a lot for a $109 stock. But once again, if you take a look at these stocks, Square included, these stocks are on a trajectory of growth, and it's no secret that this business around the world is growing very rapidly. So PayPal and Square, being trimmed back today, as is Visa, and so is MasterCharge as we move on to Visa.
Let's do that. Visa currently trading at $162.41 here today, Don. Again, just like PayPal rolled over yesterday, but it hit that 52-week high. That 52-week high for Visa was 165.74. Again, profit taking going on here, Don. Yeah.
Well, they get skeptical, and they're taking them all down. And on MasterCard, and you're talking about Visa right now. Yeah, it was. It came out this morning. Somebody put a neutral on the stock, so that wasn't helpful today. And so, what will happen? You'll see some buy recommendations come out on these stocks very shortly, as the boys begin to talk to the analysts and see what's going on in the trade, as they already have with MasterCard. Somebody, as we move on to MasterCard, it's down almost $4 today. I noted this morning with interest, somebody put a $300 tag on it.
Oh.
So,
nice.
So, look, if the guy's half wrong, you have a stock that's trading in here at 244, down almost $4 today on, what does the volume look like there?
Volume's about 1.2 million shares exchanging hands on this so far today. A little bit light on the volume because the average volume on this one, Don, is 4.3 million shares. But nonetheless, it's still early in the trading session, so we'll see how this day finishes out on MasterCard, right?
Right.
Also, too, let's bring the charts up for folks to take a look at MasterCard, okay? Rolled over just like PayPal, just like Visa, a little bit profit taken here. But created a new 52-week high. Another one, Don. So these are creating 52-week highs, and MasterCard did it at 257.42 cents on that one, Don. That's MA is the ticker symbol for MasterCard, Don. So very interesting. So these are basically down today, but the point of it is here And very attractive still, in my mind, is when these settle out, where is the entry going to be? Okay, so if you're long on stocks, forget about short or anything like that. We're not even interested in that on these right now. But if you're long, if you're a long-term player, where's your entry on these? Certainly, Square and PayPal a little bit less expensive than your legacy processors of Visa and MasterCard, right? Get yourself some good entry. At some point, Don, for instance, well, I'm not going to get into projecting any of these, but at some point you gotta think that will Square get over that $100 mark? I don't have a doubt that it will, but I'm not qualified to say so. Certainly, PayPal has, right, Don?
Yeah. Well, look, it's a strong sector. It's growing rapidly. There are some newcomers in the business. We've covered them.
Yeah.
We've had some recent IPOs over the past year.
Yeah.
So the payers are a great sector to be in.
Yeah.
And the stocks that we focus on here, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, and Square, they're kind of best of breed.
Yeah. Real quickly, because we're going to go on to towers, but the new guys on the street, they got some catching up to do for sure. Towers, AMT, American Tower, currently trading at $192.95, and we're out of time in this segment, Don.
That's okay.
I was trying to get there. Don,
we can come back. We
trying
can
to
come
get
back.
there. So on the other side, we're going to come back with American Towers. But coming up next, we got Brad Williams. This is going to be a great conversation. We're going to be talking about consumer spending. It's increased the most in the last 9.5 years. We're going to find out what's going on there. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Traders Nation salutes America. Stay strong, stay proud, and stay in the green with us. Traders Nation live, bold, and packed for profit every weekday morning.
Traders Nation, live, bold, and packed for profit. Sign up today for our weekly HTML newsletter and check out the Traders Nation store for products to enhance your stock trading day. Traders Nation, what you want, when you want it. Traders Nation.
Is that?
Hello? Hey, Jeff Carlisi here from 38 Special, and we're rocking it up right here with Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to have back with us once again Brad Williams, President of Brad Williams Financial Services. Brad, welcome back to Traders Nation. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be back, Kurt.
Brad, always a pleasure. Absolutely. Hey, listen, consumer spending increased the most, in fact, in 9.5 years. What's going on here, Brad?
Well, when you have job numbers where you've got 180,000 expected and 275,000 actual, and people are not worried about their jobs, they're thinking about how do I move into a better one. That breeds confidence, and that's when Americans spend, is when they feel good.
Sure. So that right off the top of my head, keywords are, as far as the job markets are concerned, it brings up the thought that maybe is it the employee, the person that's looking for a job, are they the advantage versus the other way around is with employers? They got the advantage out there in the job market?
Well, I would think that right now that the employee has the advantage because so many employers are looking for qualified people.
Yeah.
And so if you've got the qualifications, now's one of those times that you might think about moving up.
Sure.
So because jobs aren't scarce.
Right. All right. So back to consumer confidence. Consumers been dropping money really like crazy. But where are they dropping it the most? Housing, cars, groceries, where? Trips?
Well, about a quarter of all spending's in clothing and groceries, and then the rest is on automobiles and appliances. I was looking at the numbers for some of the top-selling cars, and they're up pretty substantially for the year. So when Americans feel good about their job, they don't mind getting a car loan.
Sure.
And I think that's what's happening now.
Sure. And what about restrictions as far as the car loans are concerned? Lending institutions, are they loosening some of those up so maybe makes it easier to drive off those car lots with those new cars?
I think some are, but I think overall the lending environment's different now than it was 10 years ago because, we don't have all those credit default swaps to cover them when things go wrong.
Right. All right. So certainly car makers are happy. Car lots are happy. Folks are driving off with brand new cars. Folks are happy all the way around. They're buying the cars. Job market's really good. In fact, there's probably more jobs than there are people looking for jobs at this point. Let's talk about growth in the economy. Certainly we saw a 3.2% rate in the last quarter. We expect that trend to continue?
Well, I don't know that it's going to stay that strong.
Yeah.
We are in the stock market anyway, the latter parts of the cycle. But we just, with deregulation, with the tax cuts, with a lot that's going on, I know my corporate taxes, the way I file, went down last year.
Sure.
And so that, there's money there that people are utilizing, and I think that's what it's all about.
So we're seeing, for instance, that's a great example. Corporations, they're so demonized, right? Left really demonized corporations in this country, anything that's for profit. But that's really what makes the world turn around. That's where the prosperity is, where we can spend the money on retooling some of our older equipment, which, generates revenue for the manufacturers of that equipment. We can expand our growth in our companies, which hires on all kinds of people, you name it, logistically and sales, etc. So what's so wrong with that?
Nothing. And in fact, what you see, in the capitalist economies, you hit it right on the head when you said reinvesting in new plants and equipment.
Sure.
That's where socialism always fails, and that's why Venezuela is in the problems it is in because Chavez was sucking the money out of there, giving it out to buy support, and not reinvesting in infrastructure in his number one industry, which is oil.
Right.
And then the efficiency goes down. You see that time and time again. And so when Americans and business people see that it's a good investment to invest back in their business and expand and upgrade, then everybody benefits because when you upgrade, somebody's got to make something, and somebody gets work.
Yeah, the only thing that I see brand new over there is armored vehicles. Those look pretty new, but what a waste of resources with their oil. Would you agree? Right?
And don't forget those armored vehicles come from a government grant from Russia, most likely.
Yeah, you're probably right. They got Russians over there, a small contingency of it, but I don't want to get in that area. So listen, do you, at some point, I think if the government of Venezuela gets turned around, certainly the oil may come back onto the market, and since we're a large oil-producing country, I don't think that's going to really have effect on our production output and then delivery of oil, let alone the world supply. Your thoughts?
I would agree with you. Having more oil come on is good because, it reduces costs of so many different items because you don't get something in the grocery store that did not get there by the truck, which burns gas.
Yeah. So I want to talk about back with consumer spending, and certainly credit card defaults comes to my mind also. Do you think that with consumer spending, and we've been watching these payment processes too, Brad, go through the roof, continue to make 52-week highs like crazy, certainly a growth area for long term. Do you see a big problem potentially with credit card defaults coming down the pipe?
Well, I think it depends on how responsibly an individual spends their money, and that's the key. Is the fact that I don't think we're in the same place we were 10 years ago in that respect. Yeah. Because everybody looked at their house as an ATM, and credit cards were giving you 0%, 2%, whatever, and credit cards are tougher to get now. I think people are being more responsible, but that's not going to stop issues. We got a big student loan issue going on now, so there's issues in the credit market. I don't know that that's going to turn things around in the near term.
I have to say, and I've had this discussion with other folks, Brad, certainly, I think you're right on point there when it comes to, I think we're smarter than we were 10 years ago. I think we got stung so bad as Americans and consumers that we had that debt, and you're absolutely right. I remember that, man. Folks were using their houses for ATMs to buy, you name it, whatever, and they certainly did, didn't they? And so I think we're a lot smarter today than we were back then. Hey, we're running out of time. I want to talk about inflation pressures. They were kind of benign in March. Great news for those looking to spend, right?
Yes, it is, and it's overall good for the economy. If Fed has to start raising interest rates, that's gonna put some downward pressure on spending.
Yeah.
Although it would help those on fixed income, but it's going to put a damper on the spending economy.
Yeah, certainly. And the Fed, I mean, their outlook right now, I don't see them really raising rates as we come into finish out the rest of this year. There's kind of buzz going around that they don't have an intention of doing it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and I wonder, we're still way below where normal interest rates are, but then again, we're in another time. So, they just need to take their time getting them up there so it doesn't shut everything down. It's
amazing. 10 years ago, I was like pounding the table on Traders Nation. It's like if you have a higher interest rate on your home, now's the time to refinance because we'll never see these rates again. But Brad, here we are 10 years later, and we're virtually in the same area. What happened?
Well, it's amazing when you flood the financial markets with cash.
Right.
And that's what happened, is just unlimited printing. And we're going to pay a price for that.
Right.
And the biggest issue we've got coming forward is government spending. We can grow out of the debt we're in, but we can't grow out of the debt if we're continuing to borrow money in deficits every year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Great point. Brad, where can we find you? Where's the website?
AskBradWilliams.com. So if you got a financial question, just ask Brad Williams.
That's right. AskBradWilliams.com. AskBradWilliams.com. Head on over there today. Brad, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. You have a good rest of your day, okay?
You too, Kurt. Thanks.
You bet. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You guys get shot.
That's right. Hey, welcome back. You are tuned into Traders Nation. Great interview with Brad. Good information, man. That guy's he's loaded with information every time he comes on. I appreciate Brad. Hey, as promised, I want to get back to Towers. AMT is certainly one of them. SBAC up in the green here today. What's going on there, Don? SBAC, Sam Bravo,
well,
Alpha
there it
Charlie.
is. 52-week high was just hit at 207. Stocks trimmed back here, but it's up $1 today.
Yeah.
SBAC actually having a great year.
Yeah.
And, this is the tower business worldwide. We have 5G coming, so SBAC, AMT, and CCI, Crown Castle, those are the three to keep your eye on in this sector, and they're all near their 52-week highs.
Yeah.
So are they expensive? Yeah, kind of, but it's a rapidly growing business. And by the way, on AMT, which is really the leader in the trade, 50% of their business is domestic here, U.S., and the rest of the world takes the rest of their revenue.
I see.
And another point to keep in track of mind with AMT is that 5G, believe it or not, around the world, the United States is not the leader in that business. So AMT around the world with 5G is focused very well.
Nice. I like it. All right. So good information. Don, anything you own today we talked about?
No.
Yeah. I don't own anything either. You need to know that for sure. That's our disclaimer. Plus, these are not buy or sell recommendations at all. Not at all, Don. And certainly check out Don's social media sites and all that good stuff. Have a great day.